Guys, 2021 is almost over and it's time to upgrade your wallet. Our friends at Ridge are here to help you step up your pocket game. This incredible wallet is light, sleek, and industrial. It doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge in your back pocket. Ridge wallets hold to 12 cards, plus all the cash you need. Choose from over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It is the best wallet you can buy, and you don't have to just take my word for it, because there's over 30,000 five-star reviews. I was skeptical at first, but once you try it, you'll never go back to your old wallet, and there's no pressure. Test it out for 45 days. If you don't love it, send it back, get a full refund. A Ridge wallet is the perfect gift for the holidays. There's a lifetime warranty, and when you click the link in the description, you'll get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns. Go to ridge.com/Chael. That's ridge.com/Chael and use the promo code Chael. Speaking of Suga Sean O'Malley, who, by the way, I hope you guys address proper, which is not Suga Sean O'Malley. It is the unranked champion, Suga Sean O'Malley. As the unranked champion, he went on the Ariel Helwani show, and he made a point. And I have to word it like that, because if you don't see the clip and you don't know Sean's demeanor, you're going to think that this was condescending and he was stirring the pot and he was calling out Dominick Cruz. That's not what it was. Sean made a point. Fine line. Sean just talked about Dominick and he was very sweet. He said this guy is a legend. This guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame. But he's on the undercard fighting Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz is a straight-up badass. You guys know who Pedro is. That's a big fight. Dominick versus Pedro, that is a real treat that you're going to get that on the undercard. But Sean O'Malley made a point. So that seems like a really big fight to me with two really good athletes. And moreover, he was speaking specifically about Dominick. And I'm not quoting right now. Telling you what happened. I'm not giving you verbatim. But then he talked about himself. He was just making the point to Ariel that the UFC stacks and structures the card in a very strategic and specific way, and they put me on the pay-per-view. If they felt that Dominick and Pedro, which isn't just one, both of those guys, very impressive, it's a 1-2 punch, teamwork, could sell more pay-per-views than me, they'd have put them up here and they'd have put me down there. I'm not even ranked, and that was it. And his tone was kind of like mine. It was polite, and he really wasn't picking on Dom. He said some very accurate and beautiful compliments to Dom. What is going on there? Sean brings up a good point. What is going on there? And it piggybacks on what I try to tell you guys at some point each week. At some point in each week, I will bring up the point that the rankings don't matter. Now, of course, that isn't literal. Sure, the rankings have a place, but I tell you, they don't matter. I don't care what you're ranked. I do care where you are on the card. I do care who our main event is. I do care who our co is. I do care what our main card is. But I don't care what they're ranked at all. And I care about the outcome, whether you win or lose. If you lose to the number 2 ranked guy while you're ranked number 14, I'm not going to give you a pass and go, well, yes, of course. But it was a great degree of separation between the two rankings. I'm not. I expect you to win. And if you don't, I'm not going to want to come and talk about you next week. I'm not going to invite you on my show the next week. I will go to an unranked guy who was on the same card and won. And I'm not being a dick for doing that. That's just how the sport works. Now, that's got give and take. You're going to have your moments where you are talked about and invited. You're going to have your moments where you're not. You got to tip your hat. Let the opponent have it. That's the way the sport works. But it does come down to placement on the card. It comes down to winning or losing. Nothing has to do with what you're ranked. And Sean O'Malley brings up an excellent point. And I don't know what's keeping those two apart. It is not fear. Many people would think it's fear by Dominick for not accepting the challenge of Sean O'Malley. You cannot call Dominick Cruz scared at anything. He begged to fight Henry Cejudo. He begged to fight TJ Dillashaw. He begged to fight Uriah Faber. I mean, just in all fairness, Dom's not. But if you think you're going to goat Dom into something, Dom marches to a beat of a different drum. And I don't know what it's going to take to get him to tick. Maybe he just doesn't think you asked him politely enough. Maybe he doesn't think you want the opportunity quite enough. That wouldn't matter to most guys. It might matter to Dom. Dom is his own guy. I worry about him. I worry about him because I fully believe in this sport, as a fighter, you find the biggest fight against the easiest opponent. You do that at all times. And I firmly believe that your number one job is to make sure you have a job to come back to tomorrow. Now, that does matter in the history of our sport. If you are a main eventer and you get beat, you don't have to worry about getting a pink slip. You're not going to return to the main event. You're going to go down. Now you've got co-main event opportunities. Or you go down further and you've got main card opportunities. Once you go to the undercard, any slip, you are eligible to be released. And I only bring that to you because Dom is as meaningful, he is as important, and he is as damn good as Suga Sean said that he was, but he's low on the card. Any mistake could be your last night. Any. I don't know that Dom sees it that way. I do not know that Dom feels those pressures. I do not know that Dom knows he needs to get himself back onto the main card where he belongs, and he could have done that very easily by fighting Sean O'Malley, but he didn't do it. I know Dom didn't not take that fight out of fear. And I think any reasonable person, we can agree. But why didn't he do it? Dom's a fighter in the Ultimate Fighting Championship at 135 pounds. And by the way, he's the star of Arizona. Suga Sean O'Malley is a fighter, signed to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, also from Lost Count, state of Arizona. Right? You guys get what I'm saying here? Like, that makes all the sense in the world. Those two fighting makes all the sense in the world. And I'll throw myself in here. I was very helpful from this. I was on ESPN with Michael Bisping, and I'm holding my phone. I just got a text from Dominic Cruz. He wants to fight Sean O'Malley. Well, that worked. That was great. Great job by me. That got cut off, and that went through social media, and the whole world was talking about it, and Bisping's going crazy when he hears about it, and John Anik absolutely loves the idea. I mean, boom, here was the opportunity. Sean said yes. I don't believe that Dom was offered that fight. I know we are led to believe by certain comments, by certain individuals in the sport, that Dom was offered that fight and turned it down. I don't believe that. I tried to make that match in Submission Underground by example. Dom agreed in way less than 1 second. Sean agreed in way less than 1 second. Turned out Sean's wife got news of when the pregnancy was due. Sean didn't want to take the risk of being out of town. I'm only sharing with you personal. I'm putting myself into this. But when I had a behind the scenes that none of you ever would have heard about, they were all for it. So I don't believe at all that Dominic was offered the fight. Why not? What am I missing here? That's an amazing fight. Not to mention it serves what we try to serve within the sport, which is you get a guy nice and shined up, which Dom is, and he either proves it or he passes that shine on to the next younger guy. You may not like it, but that's what the sport is, and Dom understands those things. And it pulls him back up to the main card, which gives him room to fall. You stub your toe on the undercard, it's a slippery slope. They've tried to write Dom off before. The pundits within the sports media, they did that in his last fight with Casey. Dom not only won the fight, he won every round of the fight. He looked great. I'm just asking a question, guys. I don't have an overall point here. What is going on? Why has Dom not been offered that fight? Am I wrong? Do you have information that I don't have? He was offered the fight and didn't want it. Maybe it's too much pressure. Maybe the Arizona tie-in against a younger guy, maybe it's too much pressure. That would stun me, though. I would be stunned. And Sean O'Malley is asking the same question I'm asking. And he's asking it just as politely as I'm asking it. Why don't you want back on the main card? You certainly belong here. You're a lot more accomplished than me, but I'm here. Simple question. Again, don't have an overarching point. But I do feel sometimes in the sport, things are so obvious and they're right in front of us. I must have missed it. I must have missed what happened here. I feel that way with the Adesanya-Whitaker fight. Something happened that I don't know about. I just learned that those two are lined up for February. Since when? When did they agree to fight? When was that fight done? How come I didn't hear it? So every now and then, attached as I am, I miss something. I'm asking you, as it pertains to Suga Sean and Dominic Cruz, did I miss something?